Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive. This week's discussion is on Mage the Ascension. This is one of White Wolf's classic games from the 1990s and is still alive and well with a recently published 20th anniversary edition out. The game focused on a philosophical point of view of what is real. How do we know what is real? And how much of what we believe is real is actually shaped by people outside of ourselves. This, of course, led to the actual factions within the game. I will be discussing those in detail later. This first volume will be discussing the philosophy in Mage the Ascension. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this discussion. In philosophy, there are a number of theories that dictate how we know what is real. Of course, in the West, we have the great cogito. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. That goes, I might not know that anything else is real, but I know I am real because I think. In India, we have the veil of Maya, the belief that reality as we know it is just an illusion. It is a trap meant to keep us in the cycle of life, death, and rebirth by making us fall short of our dharma, by getting caught up in the sensations and the physicalness of the world versus the aspiration towards the pure spiritual. And that is really the world we deal with Mage. Those two things are very much at the core of what Mage is. Because when you deal with it, you're dealing with this philosophy that what we know as reality is not necessarily real. It is what the vast majority of the people in the world believe is real. The consensus of reality. That up is up, down is down. Your computer works. And this is something that was shaped over centuries, millennia, by a group that realized that they could, by getting a vast group of people to believe something, make it true. And then, once they got enough people believing in that, then they could work on the next thing to make that true. And once they got enough people believing in that, they could move on to the next thing. And then the next thing. And then the next thing. Systematically changing reality to their viewpoint. That group we would know in game as the technocracy. I will be discussing factions in a later video. But their methods were what were important here. That they were changing reality. That as a group, they were changing how things worked for everybody. Of course, on the other side of the coin, you have the lone will worker, the lone mage, which is what the game focuses on. This is a person who understands reality is mutable. and imposes their belief, their ideal onto reality. Their belief in how things should be becomes, for a brief moment, the way things are. And then reality snaps back. Because reality doesn't like being shaped like that. And this comes into another way of looking at things. Have you ever had a dream where something from outside intruded in the dream? You know, you were dreaming of being in a desert, something like that, and you hear dogs barking. You, in the dream, you're looking around, trying to figure out where these dogs are. And then you wake up, and you realize it's, oh, my neighbor's dogs have gotten loose. The dream is reality. The dogs barking is the mage influencing reality. Your waking up is that moment where reality snaps, where this outside force pushing on reality just cannot be taken anymore. And that's when reality snaps back. And woe be unto the mage when that happens. Because that's the point where reality snaps back at the mage. That's where things cannot be, and so the mage is injured by the force of reality recoiling at their manipulations. It could be just raw damage to the mage. It could be freakish traits for a time period. It could be sentient manifestations of a specific aspect of reality coming to punish the mage specifically. It could be just a brief bout of insanity for the mage as well. And this gets into the philosophy of the world as well. Because this is that reality is a force. The consensus, the belief of the masses will not tolerate being manipulated too grossly, too fast. Has to be gradual. Has to be precise. Has to take over centuries. And that is where we get into the themes of Mage, of the Ascension War, of the groups that are butting heads over the nature of reality. Because that's what Mage is about. It is about a war not of states, not of kingdoms, but of ideas, of principles. And these are very much the core. And this gets into what we're dealing with a lot in the real world as well, which is what I think they were getting at. That you need to know what you stand for, what you believe in. Otherwise, other people are going to tell you what to believe, who to trust, who not to trust. That is where we get into the deeper levels of the game. Yes, you can treat it as a fun adventure game, but I believe Mage is at its strongest when it is approached as a parable for reality, for what's going on. And I look forward to continuing this discussion. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next part where I discuss the factions in Mage. Have a great day, and remember, keep gaming.